Ever been in a really bad situation where you feel like you can't win? Let's talk about matching and pacing. In the world of NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, everything that you use in your language is about building rapport. So we talked about sympathy and empathy and how sympathy breaks connection and empathy builds connection. And in the world of matching and pacing, there's always times where you'll have a situation that someone's either arguing with you, or you're negotiating with a real estate agent, or you're in a job position where you're getting hammered from the bottom up and from the top down, and you feel like a sandwich. Just talking to Joel about that, about how you can match and pace in conversations. And in another video, I'll talk about being diplomatic. You can't be diplomatic and nice in the same sentence. We'll talk about that soon. But in the matching and pacing world, I'll give you an example. You never ever use the word but. The word but will stop the communication dead in its tracks. The word but says, I hear what you're saying, but I don't actually believe anything that you're saying. During my TAFE days, we went for a grant. We got $6.4 million to retrofit a whole building. And we had all the plumbing teachers that were up in arms about the fact that we were going to lose a storeman. So I gathered a meeting and I let everyone air their grievances. And we put it down on the whiteboard. And one of the part-time teachers, as a head teacher that I was employing, used to be my teacher. And so Paul came out with, it's a drop of standards and there's safety issues, and we shouldn't be losing a storeman. And so what I said was, Paul, I completely understand where you're coming from. I mean, let me, just in case you don't remember it, but I'm sure you do, you taught me here. And I know how much you've actually done and all the teachers alongside you have done to build a standard that's a legacy for TAFE and for plumbers all over the country, and specifically this college. So I matched everything that he said. I agreed with everything that he said. And then what I did was, I said, and I'm also working in the workshops that I learnt as a student in more than 15 years ago. And those workshops haven't changed. The tools are the same. And with this $6.4 million, not only will we have a teaching facility that's state of the art, that's the best in the country, but we'll also have the ability to have a setup of tools which will mean that one storeman will be efficient enough to be able to do what they need to do. And you raise the really good point of safety. Safety to everyone is utmost. And I have it in writing that if it becomes an unsafe workshop, that we need to do something about it, which will mean either another staff member to come back on or something that's going to change in the processes. So we hear what you're saying, Paul. Now that's completely diffused the whole conversation. You can do this with real estate agents. The agent might come back and say, I don't know, they couldn't possibly accept that money, because it's way below price. So you say, I can understand that the owners and the vendors may be looking at the fact that it's way underpriced, and I accept that what you could see in this marketplace is that it's underpriced. And I also like to say that, we work off figures and feasibilities. We work off comparable sales, and we look at all these other sales that are in the area and what has happened recently and the consumer sentiment, and we're really confident that that's a fair and reasonable price right now. There's nothing to argue there. You've agreed with what they said and then you've paced the argument. or the conversation, I should say. So matching and pacing, one of the best tools you'll ever find and use.